Hi, well my name is Gypsy and this is my van Betty White. And we are here in Ehrenberg today and I would love to show you around my kitchen. First of all, this is my sink that I have. It's a pretty deep sink, which is amazing because sometimes when you're traveling down the road, you have your plants and everything like that. You just throw things in so they don't slide all around. So the sink I really got at Lowe's. It was a deeper sink than I had in my school bus. My school bus had like just a cocktail sink. And I realized very quickly in that build that I definitely wanted a bigger sink in order to actually be able to do dishes because my pots and pans would not fit in my other sink on my bus. So this one is a lot deeper. It's probably about 8 inches deep. In order to cook, I also have a handy dandy, don't mind the mess, van life, just a little Coleman stove that I pull out and I bring out every day, and then when I'm done with it, I put it back away under here. Also, I have a 5-gallon gray tank. That is what my gray water goes into. So in my kitchen, it works great for me. It probably wouldn't work for a lot of people. They might not want to be able to have to pull this out every day and then put it back every day. But for me, honestly, it's twice a day I get it out to cook. Most of the time it's oodles and noodles, ramen noodles, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Just being honest, the biggest thing I pull it out for is coffee every morning. Originally, when I did my build, I had it so that this cabinet could actually fold up and go into a hook up here. But I honestly, being on the road for 3 months after I built the van, realized I really did not need a shower. So I ended up building, don't judge me now, shelving here in the van so that way I could actually have more storage because it just wasn't a feasible thing to have the shower in the van. So instead of using the shower, like I said, I end up spending $29 a month going to Planet Fitness, which is absolutely amazing because Planet Fitnesses are all over the country. And in the last year, I have traveled to 48 states and I have never had a problem trying to take a shower at a Planet Fitness because they're all over this country, which is amazing. Shout out to Planet Fitness. You know, I go and work out anyway every day, so it just made sense to me to eliminate the shower. And this shelf right here is more of a memory shelf to me. This is, in the last year, these were all the amazing people I've actually met on TikTok. And that is a lot of the places in where I choose to go to each state because everybody is always like, come visit me, come see me. We want to meet you because they know that I travel the country. These are just a bunch of memorabilia pictures and they're just little Polaroids. This is actually my dog I used to have. So every time I take a picture with somebody new that I meet, I also give them a Polaroid also so they have that memory as well. And then I keep like pens and glue and stuff like that. And sometimes it's pretty good. Honestly, this is probably the dumbest thing I've ever put up in my life. I thought it was for fruit. I put other things in it and it slams against the wall the whole time I'm driving. So not a suggestion I would suggest doing, but holds extra stuff. So that's why I have that there. So in my ceiling build, I used to have a school bus that I had the tin ceiling in. So I kind of wanted to incorporate that back into my van because it's kind of my signature thing. So I have, it's just a backsplash from Lowe's. You can buy them really cheap. It's like $15 per panel. Also have 2 different fans. The reason I did that is because I do not have any windows in my build because I did a lot of research on my van before I started doing the build, and a lot of people get broken in through side windows and back windows, and I try to want to like eliminate that part of the build. So I definitely do not have any windows, and so circulation when cooking and when the heat is really, really strong, it was important to me. So I do have one in the front and one in the back, and they are offset a little bit. And originally on my real build, I was gonna have a full shower here too, so that's kind of why I did that. But you know, you change things after you start building, and that is exactly why that happened. But I've loved it because when it's like 95 degrees out and it's really hot, at least I don't have those windows to bring in the sun, and I can circulate both fans at the same time. And it keeps me reasonably cold, unless it's 115 degrees in Utah. Then you need to get a hotel room. I got into this lifestyle originally because I was so sick of living for everyone else in my life. I was sick of the 9 to 5. I was sick of going to work every day and knowing that there was more out there than what I was living. Not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but for me, I personally have always wanted to travel. I've always wanted more than what I felt I had in life. So originally I had built a school bus and realized right after I had finished my school bus that I needed something that was going to get me there faster. I needed something that was going to get me there in an easier manner and a cheaper manner than a school bus. So like I said, I did have a full-size school bus. I built that completely out myself and then realized that it just wasn't working. So then I downsized to a van, and everybody thought I was even more crazy after I did that. But this is actually what has worked best for me. Like I've said, in the last year, I've been to 48 states in this country, and I absolutely freaking love it, and I would not change a thing about it now. So my refrigerator is actually in this box. I made this box a dual purpose. So that way, anytime I'm outside, I just lift this up and I can pop into my refrigerator right here. Basically, because you gotta have a beer every day. And secondly, my diesel heater is also in here. I made it very easy to get into my garage because I'm a single person. I'm on the road all the time by myself. And there are some situations where you just don't want to get out of the van because it's in the middle of the night, you need your propane tank changed or something like that. So I literally just have a blanket that I fold up and I can access all of the stuff behind and underneath my bed, which is in my garage. And then all of my food storage is right up in here. I have food in this whole section. The other cabinets that I have here are clothes. That's all my clothing. Shoes are stored underneath my passenger seat. So on a day-to-day basis, my garage works pretty awesome for me. It will not work for everybody. I love it because this is where I keep my dirty clothes. So every day you have dirty clothes. So I throw it under there. It gets enough air because it's open every which way. Honestly, the stuff that's in the very back is my toolbox. So in case something like just happened during this interview, it's been so shaky on this road, my lights sometimes come apart. So you have to have your tools to fix them. And that's why I would definitely suggest building your own build so you know how to fix things like that. As soon as my lights went out, I was like, gonna have to fix it. We just came down this bumpy road and at least I know how to do that now. So that's awesome. And you guys will see a lot of mirrors in my build. Honestly, the reason I did that is because of tiny home tours, and there was another lady on there that I noticed that she had dual mirrors in the back because she also didn't have windows. And so I just added a lot of mirrors because once you have those mirrors, it does make this space that is very tiny feel a lot larger, and you don't feel so combined into such a small space. So on this section of my van, people always say, this is so beautiful. What inspired you to do that? And I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. This is the lazy man's way. When you don't know what to do with an area of your vehicle because you don't know how to build it out quite perfectly, you stuff foam in and then put fake plants in, and it's great. And I get the most compliments on my lazy man way of doing the van than anything else I get complimented on in this van. So what actually got me into this and actually made me push me forward to actually get this was I was working a 60-hour-a-week job. I was fantasizing and dreaming about owning a bus, owning a van, everything like that. And finally, I'm like talking about it at work. And the person I hated the most at work, person I was like despising, said, just shut up and do it. And for some reason that day, it clicked. 3 weeks later, I owned a school bus. And then a year and a half later, I owned a van. So sometimes it takes that one person telling you to shut up and do it to actually get this life done. So moving into the back of the van, I have the bed. I have a full-size bed in here. I did put mine lengthways sideways because I am very short and it works perfectly for one person. Having two people in here is a different story. Anyways, so more storage is your beautiful pillows. You know, you don't want to waste space in a tiny space. So all my sweatshirts, anything that I have that is my warm weather clothing, I stuff into the pretty pillows. Also learned that on tiny houses as well. So these cupboards up here, I just access by unhooking these, and this is all my messy storage space. As you can see, I have a little bit more maintenance to do on these things, but I've been living in the van for a year now. It took me 3 months to build it out on the road. And when you're doing that, you have to work on things constantly. It is a never-ending project when it comes to mobile homes because you are constantly moving and things are shaking and things are shifting all the time. So it is definitely an ongoing project. The amount of storage I have in this van is very minimal. Like I said, it works for me. I am one person, so this is ample space for me. Anytime I bring something in, I put something to Goodwill or I donate it to, you know, a woman's home. So that way I never have too much stuff. I always have to make sure I'm getting rid of something when I'm bringing something in. And that's really important because if not, there's just no space in here, and I always can tell when I have too much stuff because these do not stay shut. I also have storage behind my head, which is like this box full of junk. I actually probably could get rid of it. I don't even know what's in it anymore. So as I say, I bring things in and take things out. Sometimes I don't always. And then I have a lot of my camera equipment and lighting equipment and everything like that for my job that I do. So everything is stored behind here for that. And I also have this mirror thing that I open up, and there's actually more storage in there. So being on the road as a single female, a lot of people are extremely worried about you. Like, more people are always like, well, I watched the news and I saw this, and I watched the news and I saw that. I like to live by a statement which is called, think positive, be positive. And when that happens, you meet so many incredible people and you have the most positive and uplifting experiences you'll ever have. If you feed fear, you get fear. So definitely live by be positive, see positive. And that is how I've been living my life since I've been on the road. And I have had nothing but amazing, amazing experiences. The only problem I've had is where's the next dump station? So to the people out there who are thinking, should I do this? Should I not do this? Should I do this? Should I not do this? And you really don't have any real reasons why you shouldn't do this. Can you poop in a bucket? Because if you can poop in a bucket, you can live this life. So if you guys want to follow me, you can follow me on YouTube, which is Gypsy Undersupervised 1, and also you can follow me on Instagram, Gypsy Undersupervised. Click links below.